Good evening, everyone, and welcome for the second match of the Unified Minds League Cup from Battle Bunker Reforged. It's me, Kuhunagala, and tonight I have a guest with me, Curtis. Curtis, how you doing, man?
Hi, how you doing, Kyle?
All right, yourself?
Not too bad.
Cool. So this is round 2, and we've got Matthew versus Justin. So I don't see why we can't just get straight into things. So we've got Justin who's playing a Malamar deck, and we've got Matthew playing something weird. I don't know if you want to discuss about that, Curtis.
He's playing a Ultra Beast Checkmate deck, which revolves around the Stinger GX attack on Naganadel, which puts both players down to 3 prizes, and then he tries to win by taking a knockout on a tag team. So in this first matchup, it's not really ideal for him because he's going up against a Malamar, which doesn't really play tag teams as the main attackers. So let's see how it goes.
Yeah, so we see Matthew using Ultra Space. It is the stadium of choice in this deck. So basically, it allows him to search for an Ultra Beast from his deck and put it into his hand. And really, everything in the deck is Ultra Beast, as far as I'm aware. I think there might be 1 or 2 spicy techs.
Yeah. So Matthew's starting with the Pheromosa active, which has the free retreat, and he's just checking to see what is sort of prized and what cards he can get. So he grabs a Poipole with his first search. And let's see what he does further.
Looks like he places the Poipole. He's just shuffling his deck. I wonder if he's just going to be passing over here. We see Matthew bench another Poipole and pass.
So Justin seems like he's playing some fighting energies there, which is quite interesting in his Malamala. So it leads me to believe he's playing the Giratina Garchomp.
Yeah, that tag team's been seeing a lot of play around the Cape Town circuit.
So he starts off with an Acrobike and he's got a bit of a choice here. Takes a spell tag and gets rid of. Can't quite see there actually.
Those Eclipse sleeves have a really bad glare on them.
And he attaches the spell tag to the Marshadow and Fighting Energy, and then bumps the Ultra Space with a Viridian.
And he plays a
Lily for 4. 5. Not too bad. Justin needs to get a basic Pokemon here, otherwise
I don't see one in his hand here.
No. He's got the Pokemon communication, but it doesn't look like he has anything to use with that.
To communicate with.
Yeah.
So let's just look at that active Pokemon. It's a Marshadow from Unbroken Bonds with the Resetting Hall ability, allowing to discard any stadium in play, and then you basically discard the Marshadow off of your bench. Marshadow could come really clutch in this matchup with Red Knuckles as well, doing an extra 60 damage to any Ultra Beast, so this might be problematic for Matthew.
I think this is probably the first time that Justin enjoys the Marshadow active as an attacker.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we see him using Viridian for a Psychic Energy, and I think he's probably going to Red Knuckles and pass. Didn't see much else in his hand that he could use to sort of get more Pokemon or anything like that, so bit of an awkward start for Justin.
Very interesting to see that Justin discarded the reset stamp for Viridian. So Matthew's definitely got some donk potential here. If he can get rid of this Marshadow now and end this game quickly.
So let's see what Matthew does. I don't quite know what he top decked there, but he seems to be thinking of a way to.
Looks like a Beast Ball. So Beast Ball is a very weird item to play. It allows him to look at his prize cards, and if he finds an Ultra Beast there, he may take that Ultra Beast out of his prize cards into his hand, and then he can replace it with the Beast Ball.
And there we see a water Pokemon. I'm not quite sure if that was the.
I think that might have been a Frostlass.
So another one of Matthew's spicy decks that he's playing for this tournament.
So we see him eye out the ability Naganadel. So
the one with Ultra Conversion.
Yes. So Naganadel GX with Ultra Conversion allows you to discard a Ultra Beast from your hand, and then if you do, you get to draw 3 cards. Some great draw support for any Ultra Beast deck.
Yeah. Much like the trade ability of Zoroark, just slightly more conditions, but more draw. So let's see what Matthew does now. He Ultra Converts another Naganadel and draws 3. So I'm sure Matthew's looking for a way to win here. to try and knock out this Marshadow. And we see him.
He discarded a Dugong. He's got a Dugong in this deck as well. He's really got a couple of arts for the checkmate.
Yeah, so he's discarded the Dugong for the Viridian, looking for energy.
He finds himself a water energy. So Viridian Forest, like we covered, you get to discard a card from your hand and search your deck for a basic energy. It's a good staple in a lot of decks right now.
So he attaches the water energy to the Poi Bowl, plays down a Ultra Space, and he uses it to search for an Ultra Beast. Let's see which one he grabs. Interesting, he grabs a Buzzwole, which has not seen much play for a while now, but it is an Ultra Beast, so he uses that to get it into play. Mysterious Treasures, a Steven's Resolve to grab another Naganadel GX.
So this is the Stinger Naganadel, and this is the one we all came here to see with the Stinger GX ability. But it looks like, in a very rare occasion, that this Beast Raid is actually going to take the game for him. Beast Raid does 20 damage for every Ultra Beast on your side of the field.
So Matthew retreats the Pheromosa for free, and Beast Raids for 80 to take the knockout and the win.
And that's it. Matthew's got the win in the bag. That's a very quick game one.
So turn of the game.
So there's not much to cover here. We need to see what else Matthew's got in this box of tricks, and Justin really not even getting a single Inkay out. So could we even call this a Malamar deck? We aren't really sure until he plays one of them, isn't it?
So we're just gonna wait for them to set up for their second game.
So in this time, as always, I use this moment to say, if you guys like what you see on the channel, please subscribe, give the video a like if you like what we're doing here, and please that subscribing will help you with getting notifications for the rest of the videos that will be coming out for the rest of this Unified League Cup series, the Unified Minds League Cup series.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure Justin would love to go first here. So he's probably gonna opt to go first, and then we'll see what happens from there. Very interesting choice of Matthew to play the Beast Box deck. Not sure what his reasonings for it were, but quite an interesting choice. I think with the number of Charizards taking, making headlines and things like that, and the number of tag team Pokemon running around, I think a good call by Matthew, but running into a Malamar definitely wasn't what he expected. Round 2,
especially in his second round. Yeah. I've been watching Matthew shuffle there. I saw a Frostlass, I saw a Dugong.
There's Rainbow Energies.
He's got a that looks like a little bit of everything, to be honest. Hopefully we see a longer match now. We can maybe see these decks actually take off and showcase what they're supposed to be doing.
With him playing the Stinger, he might also be playing Triple Acceleration. Well, if he's playing the Dugong, he's definitely playing Triple Acceleration. So, it'll be interesting what kind of counts he's got. And
we see Justin start with the Marshadow again, but I think I see a Mysterious Treasure in his hand this time.
Okay, the two of them setting out their prize cards, and then let's see how game 2 goes. Okay, Matthew starting with the Poi Bowl this time.
And Justin starts with the Marshadow. He can't be feeling too good about that right now. But I do definitely see a Mysterious Treasure in his hand. I'm sure he's going to play that down as soon as possible. He's got two Mysterious Treasures. Yes.
That's quite good. Throws away the Psychic for the first one. And I'm pretty sure he's going to fetch an Inkay to start off. Malamar.
Or maybe Giratina. Giratina.
Yeah, he's grabbing the Giratina.
So obviously with Giratina's ability, a Giratina allows you to bring it back from the discard pile with Distortion Door and place 1 damage counter on 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So with Psychic Recharge bringing energies back, with Giratina bringing back itself, it really just allows the deck to recycle over and over again.
But apart from that, Justin's hand isn't that great at all. I think he's got 2 Fighting Energies, a Spell Tag, and an Adventure Bag. So
you see the attachment for the turn to the Marshadow and the Spell Tag. This looks like last game.
So just a reminder that Marshadow will do 70 damage to any Ultra Beasts, and Matthew's main attackers in the deck are Ultra Beasts. So
Matthew's got some pressure of his own here. He's got a Poipole with 70 HP and he needs to get a basic. Will he find one out of this Beast Ball?
Matthew Beast Ball, and there's no Ultra Beast in the prizes, so that's not good. And he shuffles them up and sets them out again. And what else does Matthew have in his hand?
I saw a custom catcher and an energy.
Okay, so he double custom catches the Inkay and passes.
Ooh. It looks like Justin's got game here. He's got an energy in his hand to retreat.
So Justin attaches, retreats, and Matthew concedes. And on to game 3.
What are we seeing here? So Justin wins this match. That is back-to-back donks. You didn't see that very often.
No, that's a bit surprising from both of them. I'm sure the deck's got enough supporters and all that to run through and, you know, run efficiently. So just some bad luck there from both of them. Justin must be feeling a bit better now, considering game 1 did not go great at all.
That's really not a nice feeling. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this was Justin's first League Cup. So to be on stream, to get knocked out on basically
turn 3
of the game, I guess it restores a little bit of confidence. Okay, yes. So now Curtis, I'm really hoping that we're actually going to get a full game now.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something we need to see. I think Matthew will probably decide to go first again.
We see a mulligan from Justin here, and he looked like he had a pretty decent hand. Pokemon, Mysterious Treasures. He had a lot going for him there.
So Matthew sets out his prizes. He should have put down a Pokemon first.
Okay, looks like he's starting with Pheromosa again. A pretty solid choice for this deck. Justin dropping cards. I think the nerves are getting the better of him, yeah?
They still both have plenty of time, considering games 1 and 2 did not last very, very long.
Look, it was roughly 10 minutes, so they've got a good half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on what the time limit was.
And there we see Justin.
Justin's got an Inkay and a Mew
to start.
Mew is a very nice card for this matchup, considering with Checkmate always trying to finish the game off by sniping, or at least setting up those game finishing moves by sniping. For those who don't know, Mew's bench barrier ability prevents all damage done to your bench Pokemon by your opponent's attack, so really just shuts off the new Naganadal's ability from Unified Minds, the attack to snipe for 170.
Yeah, the Venom Shot.
The Venom Shot. It stops Dugong. It's basically stopping any sniping. So Matthew's got to deal with this Mew as quickly as possible.
So Matthew starts, he draws a card, and he's thinking what he wants to do. So Matthew plays down a Power Plant. Not an ideal card for this matchup, but I think he's just thinning his hand down a bit. And he plays a Steven's Resolve. So Steven's Resolve lets him search for any 3 cards and put them into his hand, shuffles his deck, and then his turn ends. So Matthew is hoping that Justin cannot one-shot this Pheromosa.
Pheromosa's got a decent amount of HP on it, so it's a little bit more doubtful than the previous donks. Steven's Resolve is, you normally see it being played in control decks, and this is kind of control-ish.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to see. Well, I'm very interested to see on the 3 cards he's going to take.
So he doesn't show us at all.
Nice.
And that's the end of his turn. So I actually have no idea what he took with that Steven's Resolve.
We see Justin top deck a Lily. That's exactly what he needed. We're going to see an Acrobike. Oh, there's a Cynthia and what looked like a Malamar, I think. I'm sure you'll keep the Malamar.
He'll keep the Malamar. He's got Lily in hand. So I wonder what he's going to do. He's got 2 fighting energies. A Pokecom.
Could he Pokecom that Malamar for Jirachi to help himself sit up a little better? Or is he just going to go for the Malamar, try and get a Giratina? But there's no way he's going to hope to get that off the Lily.
Yeah.
He's going to have to attach your energy to the Mew and hope for the best. I mean, not well, it's not ideal.
And also, I don't think Matthew has a way to take a knockout on the first turn with no Poiballs
No. So he's
out on the field.
He's playing Pokemon Communication to put the Malamar back. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Jirachi here.
And there is the Jirachi. And I think Justin is just checking to see what he has.
Justin plays the Dene in his deck, which is very interesting. So that Power Plant actually does play a factor by Matthew. Of course, Power Plant shutting off his own Agonadal's ability as well.
I don't think Matthew knew that Justin was playing the Dedenne.
Yeah, it's very unorthodox to be playing the Dene in Malamar, but very worthwhile for late game, I suppose. Yeah. Look, bench space is very crucial for any Malamar deck. So
then Justin gets the Jirachi.
He takes the Jirachi.
As we thought he might.
Jirachi, for those who haven't seen the previous game, Jirachi's Stellar Wish ability. You put Jirachi to sleep, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck and you can take any trainer card you find there. And obviously Jirachi is paired nicely with the skateboard, which lets it retreat while it's asleep and makes it retreat cost 1 less. We saw Justin play a Lily.
So Justin got a nice Lily there to get to 8. He attaches to the Mew.
You see the skateboard to the Jirachi.
And yeah, he's just going to retreat, get some Psychic into the discard pile, and then Stellar Wish. Spell Tag, Pokecom, Lily.
There's a lot of...
And Mysterious Treasure.
There's a lot of trainer cards there. I wonder if you'll take the Mysterious Treasure.
Yeah, the Mysterious Treasure getting another Inkay would be ideal. As the Malamar player, you want to get as many Malamars into play as you can.
So he does take the Mysterious Treasure, yeah? Just as a reminder, Mysterious Treasure, you can discard a card from your hand, search your deck for any Psychic or Dragon Pokemon. So in this deck, obviously the Dragons, as we see by the fighting energies, he's playing the Giratina Garchomp tag team. But normally Mysterious Treasure is to help set up those Malamars as quickly as possible. A really good Pokemon searching staple.
He used a Giratina to discard with the Mysterious Treasure, and now he's just searching and he grabs another Inkay. He was deciding whether or not to grab the Garchomp and Giratina, but decided against it.
I think it's a really good choice because putting a tag team down against a checkmate deck, I don't know if he knows it's a checkmate deck at this point, but putting one down is basically setting yourself up for failure for the end game. So whether he done it consciously or not, good choice.
And Justin passes his turn and his Jirachi is awake. So Matthew draws a card.
Let's see what Matthew got out of that Stevens Resolve. We see 2 Poiballs.
That's probably what he got with the Stevens Resolve. And then another...
Maybe I would have I don't know if he wants to keep that Power Plant there. I would have taken the Ultra Space. Try and get some longevity out of that Steven.
So in this matchup, I'm not quite sure. So Matthew definitely has to get rid of the Mew. Because he's obviously playing the Dugong and he's also playing the Naganadel with Venom Shot. He definitely wants to start taking out Inkays through bench sniping. So he needs to somehow get rid of this Mew as quickly as possible, and then from there start with his strategy of sniping out the Inkays, making sure that Justin can't power up any Giratinas that come from the discard pile through the Distortion Door ability. So Matthew plays the Ultra Space down and he's searching with the Ultra Space and he grabs a Nihilego.
Nihilego. Yeah, Nihilego's attack for 1 Psychic Energy. When your opponent's on exactly 2 prizes remaining, it can use the attack of any of your opponent's Pokemon you play. So a very clutch card for the end of the game, but right now it looks like he's just sending him up as a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah, oh, and he's playing another Stevens. So Matthew is just setting up as much as he can. He's just going for that setup, trying to get everything he needs and then take it from there. I'm not sure how many Stevens Matthew is playing. If he's playing, he probably will be playing 4, just that he can start with it.
Looks like he's eyeing out custom catches there. He realizes that the Mew is really going to affect his end game, so he needs to get rid of that Mew as early as possible. And I mean, in the current meta, not many people are playing cards like Brock's Grit that allows you to get those Pokemon back.
So he did put a card down, but he just picked it back up again. So let's see what his thinking is. I don't have a clear idea of what's in Matthew's hand at the moment, so I'm not too sure what he needs or what he has.
I do see custom catcher at the end of the deck.
Yeah. So does he go for those other tech cards that he has in the deck, or So he hasn't grabbed that custom catcher yet. Okay, so
This looks like a very long search.
I think Matthew's taking making sure he gets exactly what he needs for this following turn and the turn after that, because he needs to start setting things up.
We see Justin draw the Dene. So we see Giratina come back again
With Distortion Door, and he puts the 10 damage on both Poipoles. I'm not sure if it does matter in the terms of maths, but he's got to put the damage somewhere.
We see a Stellar Wish. We see a Pokecom. We see a Lily.
And an Escape Board, I think, was the other trainer card. And then a Pokemon and a Energy. Yeah. So he grabs the Pokecom.
Perhaps he decides to put that Dene back in for now. Yep. And I'm sure you'll be hunting for Malamar at this point to get that Giratina running.
And there we see the Malamar.
So for those who don't know, Malamar is known, well, it's played for its Psychic Recharge ability. Once during your turn, you can attach a Psychic Energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So again, just helping with that pure recycle of Giratina, bringing it back from the discard pile, bringing its energies back along with it. It really is a great card.
So Justin attaches a Psychic to his Giratina,
And I think
and
he played the
Cynthia.
Yeah. See what he gets off the 6. Saw a Lily, couple of energies.
So the Dene again, a reset
And
stamp.
a reset stamp.
Matthew just asking if he used Psychic Recharge.
And he stamps Matthew after the Steven.
The second Stevens.
My goodness, that can't feel good for Matthew at all. Matthew hopes to get a really good hand off that reset stamp, and he takes away the Ultra Space.
Okay, so Matthew drawing a fresh 6 cards. And Steven still deciding what he wants to do. He uses Psychic Recharge. Powers up that Giratina. And I think he's going to, my apologies Justin, I think he's going to...
He's looking at playing that Dene. I think it would be a wise play. He's got some Psychics in his hand, and he really just needs one more Malamar to start swinging.
And Justin uses Dead Change and gets rid of 2 Psychics and a Lily.
Oh, and it doesn't look like he got the Malamar. He got a Jirachi, couple spell tags, but no Malamar. See him attach one of those spell tags to the Giratina.
So I think Justin will just leave the Jirachi inactive and probably pass the turn. Just checking his discard pile. Yeah, and he passes and he looks to see who's awake. He's awake.
Let's see what Matthew can do after that reset stamp.
So it shouldn't hurt him too much because he's still got 7 cards in his hand, but he doesn't have the ideal cards that he picked out previously with these Stevens. So
And I really like the fact that Justin, after putting some energies on that Giratina, gets the spell tag down on him as well. I mean, spell tag really making a big difference in the matchup. When it's attached to a psychic Pokemon and it's knocked out, as you can see on the side here, he gets to place 4 damage counters however he likes. So that's a big play, considering that it starts making targeting that Giratina, it starts making it very difficult.
Yeah. And also with Distortion Door putting damage down, you just end up putting a lot of damage on the field, and that is generally how the Malamar wins the matchup, through having a lot of damage everywhere to make sure that they can just one-shot.
Or finish the game off with Espeon and Deoxys tag team. But we would think that it would be Matthew that's trying to spread the damage in this matchup, but not the other way around. See Matthew playing a couple of spell tags of his own as well.
So Matthew played a Beast Ball and got that Buzzwole with it out of his prizes. I don't know if he's going to bench it.
Well, he's got the Naganadel down with the ability, so we might be able to see him use Ultra Conversion. Oh, he puts the Buzzwole back in.
And he Pokecoms it away. Let's see what he grabs now. Okay, he grabs the Charge Up Naganadel. So Matthew playing 3 different Naganadels, 2 different GX ones, and then the non-GX one. And
he's going to discard it.
I think Matthew's keeping that Buzzwole because the Sledgehammer turn is a real thing, and I think he wants to have that Buzzwole for that turn.
Looks like he got the Dugong with those 3 cards, but no Seal and no Ditto.
Matthew deciding what he wants to do here.
He's got a Spell Tag in hand. And a Rainbow.
So there are a lot of moving parts to this deck, so it's always difficult to find exactly what you need. So he Pokecoms the Dugong away, and let's see what he grabs now. Very, very interesting. Grabs another Poipole.
I feel like he's feeling the threat coming on here, with benching so many different, like, Poipoles, Naganadels. He's trying, well, he could just be trying to get as far set up as possible before things start turning. And of course, playing a lot of 1 prizes as well, it allows that Stinger GX to bring him right back into the game again. So he's really keeping his options open this early in the game.
So he attaches the Spell Tag to the near Lego, and then he puts a Rainbow on the Naganadel GX.
And he forgot to place 10 damage.
So let's see if Justin realizes, or if Matthew remembers. Okay, so Justin, looks like he drew a Psychic from the top deck. He attaches it to his Giratina.
I'm sure he's going to try and get that Jirachi to get him a supporter, because it looks like he's got none in his hand right now. So I see the Stellar Wish.
Spell Tag, Acrobat, Power Plant, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's Power Plant.
Maybe he takes the Acrobat to hope to get a supporter. Really thinking hard about this. He does take the Acrobat.
Justin looking to dig a little bit further to see if he can get that supporter.
Not that it's too necessary at this moment though. Looks like he got a Malamar there. Definitely throwing away that adventure bag. Because he attached from hand, he's still got 2 psychic recharges this turn if he wants to use it. I doubt he needs it right now though.
So we see the retreat from Jirachi into the Giratina, and looks like we're going to start seeing some attacks coming.
So we see Shadow Impact for 130, and obviously Giratina, he needs to place 4 damage counters on one of his own Pokemon, and with that Spell Tag he needs to choose very carefully. He puts it on the Dedenne, And the spell tag. Matthew chooses to split it between the Mew and the Jirachi. So maybe he's trying to line up a Dugong perhaps here. But he needs to get rid of that Mew first. So he's setting up the Dugong for later.
So Matthew puts the Pheromosa active because he's got that free retreat. So let's see what Matthew does now.
Justin also forgot to take his prize there. Hopefully he remembers in time.
See the nerves of the first League Cup for Justin, forgetting to pick up a prize there.
The nerves for Matthew for forgetting to place rainbow energy damage. Custom catcher for 1, Matthew's digging.
So Matthew puts the triple acceleration on his Naganadel GX and he Dead Eye changes. That's a Frostlass.
He discarded a Frostlass. There's some wild cards in this deck.
It's always good to see some decks like this where it's not the meta game always.
You see the Ultra Space in hand there.
Oh, there we go. So
he reminds him to take his prize. Good job.
Matthew plays the Ultra Space down. So this can help Matthew draw 3 cards through using the Ultra Space to get an Ultra Beast and then to pitch it with Ultra Conversion.
At this stage, Matthew also hasn't played a supporter yet.
Okay, grabs another Naganadel GX.
The Ultra Conversion one, yeah.
So you could have 2 Ultra Conversions going. Depending, okay.
See a Pokegear. Pokegear 3.0 allows you to look at the top 7 and take a supporter. So, and it doesn't look like he found one. Nope. Took a quick glance at the Ditto. It's like, my friend, Dugong needs you. No.
Or Frostlass.
Or Frostlass. Or whatever other techs I have in my deck. No, let's see.
So he Ultra Converts the
Ultra Conversion Naganadel. We see another Poipole in hand there.
So Matthew will get an attack off. The only problem is he'll only be able to hit the active because of the Mew. So let's see what he decides to do. That's a Titanizer. So he's gonna Titanizer and he's gonna shuffle his hand back in and draw 5. So Titanizer gives you another option where you can switch it, use it as a switch card, but in this case I think Matthew really needs to dig and draw some cards.
He wants to get those custom catches. We've seen him burn through one, but that's what he needs right now.
If I'm not mistaken, I know Matthew does play one spicy supporter as well, which could help get rid of the Mew actually. If I'm not mistaken, he plays a Grimsley.
Yes, I did see Grimsley in his list, you are right.
So the Grimsley, he could actually use that to deal with the Mew.
So Matthew takes out the Giratina for now, taking him down to 5 prizes as well.
So now we're just waiting for spell tag damage to be placed. Justin deciding where he wants to put it.
Doing a little bit of his own spreading here.
And he's still deciding. So I think he's gone, oh wow, 2 on the Poipole with no damage, 1 on the Poipole with damage, so now it's 10 damage on it, and then 1 on the Pheromosa.
10 damage is a magic number, Curtis. I mean, we're looking at Deoxys and Espeon spreading 10 damage counters, so you could be taking out both of those Poipoles and putting Matthew into substantial amounts of trouble while that Mew is still around as well.
So Justin grabbing the power plant, which is not what Matthew's looking for. He desperately wants to use that Ultra Conversion ability to keep drawing through his deck. So the judge is asleep and now Justin's deciding what to do. He'll most likely be bringing back that Giratina and using its distortion door ability and putting more damage counters on the field.
So he puts a little bit more on both of those point balls.
He has the energy in hand, so he can get this Giratina. Does he have the energy in hand? Places a spell tag.
Does
No, he
not.
doesn't.
And he's 2 Viridian Forest down at this point. And I don't see a supporter here either. Are we going to see him pass after this Psychic Recharge? I see the double Psychic Recharge to the Giratina.
Is that the SP on the Oxus in his hand as well?
He does have it in his hand. But really no other outs. This is the risk of playing Dedenne in Malamar. He's really cut himself down. He could have played down another Jirachi at this point, but he's unfortunately his bench is full and he can't get rid of the Mew, and of course Giratina needs to keep coming back to attack. So until something else is knocked out, he's kind of going to be limited to playing any other support Pokemon.
So we see him Pokecom, I think it was the Jirachi back,
He
and
put
it
Jirachi
looks
back.
like he's getting the Garchomp Giratina GX, Tag Team GX. So let's see what he grabs that.
Garchomp Giratina being pretty cool, especially with all of this damage spread. For the first attack for 1 fighting energy, he can put 40 damage wherever he likes. And the second attack, my numbers might be incorrect, but it does, I think it's 80 plus 160. I'll have to confirm on that as well, but it does quite a bit of damage if the Pokemon is damaged already.
So Justin just retreats the Jirachi, still asleep on his bench, and puts the Dedenne active. So Matthew able to get rid of that power plant and play down his Ultra Space. So Matthew running 4 Ultra Space, which is definitely very necessary in this deck, and he's running a couple of power plants as well.
So my apologies, I had it the other way around. So Calamitous Slash by the Garchomp and Giratina does 160 base damage, and if the Pokemon already has damage counters on it, it does an extra 80 damage. So it does do 240, which is a crazy amount of damage, especially with all of Matthew's Pokemon basically being damaged right now. That Garchomp and Giratina tag team is just picking and choosing at this point.
So Matthew plays a Pokecom, and I think he put a Seal back, and he is grabbing a Hooper.
Hooper from Unified Minds for 1 colorless does 10 damage plus 20 more damage for each Pokemon with an ability on your opponent's side of the field, which is such a crucial card in the Malamar matchup.
So Matthew Ultra Spaces for another Poipole, so that's why he grabbed 2 Pokemon there. He's probably going to Ultra Conversion that Poipole. Yeah.
Draws 3 cards. You see a custom catcher. If he has another custom catcher in hand, he can start dealing with that Mew.
Looks like he's going to play Pokegear 3.0.
Let's see.
I think he's looking for that Grimsley play.
He wants the Grimsley.
Now we see another
Stevens
Stevens as well.
I'm excited to see this Grimsley play. I don't think Justin will see it coming. The Dennis got 40 damage on it, so it's perfect to send it back. Matthew... Okay, he does take it back.
Plays down the Hooper. Justin having to take a look at what the Hooper does.
And realizing it's bad news.
Yeah.
It's bad news.
So the Hooper currently does 130 damage because all of Justin's Pokemon have abilities.
And of course to Giratina it's double damage,
Yeah.
right? So we see Matthew play the Steven. He's just gonna go get all of the last pieces.
So he grabs a custom catcher. Grabs a custom catcher.
And a triple? No,
No.
he doesn't take the triple acceleration. It looks like he took a...
I'm not too sure what it was.
I didn't get that last card.
Probably the Grimsley. If I know Matthew, it's probably the Grimsley. So now Justin's turn.
Draws for turn. He gets a Lily, so at least it's a supporter. And he's got a switch in hand. Oh, he's got the skateboard anyway.
So he's going to skateboard into the Jirachi. And then he's probably going to switch out. Because he has, Psychic Recharge onto his Giratina.
At this point, does he just play the Lily? Or does he Stellar Wish? Or does he switch and play a Lily? He uses Stellar Wish. Here's a Viridian Forest. That's exactly what he wants to see. He wants to try and get his hand down at this point. Getting rid of that Ultra Space.
So that's Matthew's third Ultra Space down, if I'm not mistaken. Could be his fourth actually. Still Justin shuffling. So he can get his hand down quite a bit. I think you probably want to get rid of the... I mean, he's got a switch, he's got another spell tag in his hand. And then he's got the 2 tag team GX Pokemon in his hand as well.
I just realized if Matthew gets a Grimsley, he's looking at a good 3 prize turn here. Because he could take out the Mew and then Venom Shot at the Dene. So he could be looking at a big swing here.
So the Justin Lilies for 3.
Matthew has his damage counters ready.
He knows what's about to happen. So interesting that Justin didn't Viridian first.
Before he Lilied.
To maybe just pitch something and then draw an extra card.
Oh, I suppose he wanted the energy in hand, right?
So he's keeping that Garchomp Giratina active by keeping that...
He's taking that fighting energy,
Yeah.
showing Matthew, I've got an answer. Got an answer for you.
So he Psychic Recharges onto the Mew. And he does Shadow Impact for 130. And then he places 40 damage counters on the Dene. So the Dene currently has 80.
At the Dene, he served his purpose. Justin doesn't want to see him on the field anymore.
Matthew and Justin both still had 5 prizes.
You see the Grimsley? Here it comes. So he gets to move those 3 damage counters.
Justin's like, what is going on?
He's like, thank you for putting the damage there for me. I would like to knock out that Mew. So Matthew takes a cool 1 prize during turn.
He didn't grab the prize though.
He hasn't yet. Looks like he's aiming up for that Malamar as well. Does Matthew have a switch? Oh, he's going to stamp him as well.
So I think Matthew's trying to trap the Malamar active and then snipe around and hope that Justin can't retrieve this Malamar or switch it.
Yeah, well, I think he's definitely wants to go for the snipe if he can.
Matthew still hasn't taken that prize though.
I can't really explain why. Because yeah, he's gonna... It looks like he's sitting to Venom Shot, but he hasn't taken a prize from the Mew yet. Oh my, so looks like Matthew forgot to take a prize card here. Matthew goes down to 4.
He should be on 3. Doesn't make it... Hopefully it doesn't make a big difference in this match. Let's have a look. Okay, so Justin has to figure out a way to retreat this Malamar.
It looks like he's burned through a lot of his escape boards. Sorry for the inconvenience there. There was a bit of a cutout in the video. But it looks like he managed to get the switch for that Malamar.
So he's used Distortion Door now and he's put 10 on the Hooper. and he's going to put another 10 on the benched Naganadel GX. He takes a knockout on that Naganadel and places 40 damage counters on to the Giratina active.
40 damage counters.
Sorry.
Four damage counters.
Puts 40 damage on the Giratina.
So Justin going down to 3. Matthew should also be on 3 at this point, but he's forgotten to take his prize from the Grimsley. Perhaps you don't know the text of the card. I highly doubt that it would say that you can't take a prize, but I think it's the nerves. It's the League Cup nerves. I'm pretty sure time is going to be called soon as well.
Matthew plays a Pokemon and puts back another water Pokemon. He hasn't been able to get his Dugongs out this game, which I think in an ideal world that's exactly what he needs to win this matchup, is just to put a bunch of damage on the Inkays and Malamars and then
clean up with the Dugong.
So let's see what Matthew's looking for here.
Matthew's scratching, but I don't see him eyeing anything out specifically here. Looks like it's the Beast Raid Naganadel.
The Beast Raid Naganadel would do 60 damage right here, which is not quite enough yet. He might just be up. There we go. He grabs the Buzzball.
Buzzwole is an interesting choice at this point, because Justin's already past the point of the Sledgehammer turn, so he's Ultra Conversioning in a way.
Yeah.
See Matthew draw 3. He's got a Water Energy in hand.
So Matthew evolving that Purple.
Yep, there's the Beast Raid Naganadel.
Justin remembers that one from game 1.
Yes.
Not so fond memories.
No, but I don't think Matthew wants to be
Beast raiding.
Well, he doesn't want to commit that now. He's putting himself in a weakness deficit, and we're quite deep into the round. Matthew needs to come up with a multi-prize turn here to try and take this game. His back is definitely against the wall at this point.
And if he had taken that prize earlier, I think we could have seen a multi-prize turn with the Jirachi having some damage on it and the Dedenne. I think he would have sort of looked harder maybe for the Dugong. And
I think a big play if he was on 3 prizes would also be the Turning Point Naganadel.
Yeah.
Because with 3 prizes it hits 460, so he would be knocking out a Giratina with a 1 prizer. But he's got Hooper to help him with that, I suppose.
Yeah.
You see Snorunt come down with the Water Energy. Nice to see that Frostlass is going to get some play.
I also don't know, maybe Matthew is running out of triple accelerations.
He passes, he doesn't send up the Hooper. Very interesting. Is he perhaps trying not to give Justin the out to have a bench space, because his bench is currently full at the moment? We're going to see some Psychic Recharges.
I'm not sure.
To the bench Giratina.
Bench Giratina, okay. I wasn't quite sure what that was.
That's those Eclipse, Ultra Pro Eclipse sleeves with the matte fronts.
Okay.
Makes it very difficult.
So Justin's got 2 Giratinas ready to go. Let's see what he's able to do. Doesn't seem like he has any way to draw more cards, so I think he's just going to use the Giratina. I think he knocks out the Pheromosa.
So just takes another prize. So it looks like turns were called because Matthew's placed that dice for turn 1. So each of them will, well, Justin was turn 0, so Matthew gets 2 more turns, Justin gets 1 more turn. So if Justin can somehow knock out one of those Naganadals on the bench or the Dedenne, he's got game in the bag. Matthew needs to take a prize, he needs to take 4 prizes in 2 turns. With only 1 GX in play, seems very difficult.
So Matthew evolves into Frostlass, which has a unique attack where you are able to put up to 7 damage counters onto the Frostlass, and Frostlass does 20 times the number of damage counters on it.
Well, 20 times the number of damage counters it places that in that way.
Turn, yeah.
So it looks like he's just using, that's 40 and asleep, and he stays asleep. So Matthew's going for the draw here. Justin would need a switch to get out of this.
I'm not too sure what's in Justin's hand. I see a Psychic and
I see a Cynthia, but Justin has burned through a lot of his resources by this point of the game.
That Dedenne has 50 damage on it.
It's got 10 on it.
10?
10.
There's 2 dice on the Dedenne.
Oh, the Dedenne?
Yeah,
My apologies, it is 50. It had 80, 30 was removed for the Grimsley.
Yeah. And his Giratina has, I think, 120?
120 is
40
correct.
from the Frostlass and then 40 from the 2 Shadow Impacts.
So that's on 10 left. I don't see a way for Matthew to take 4 prizes in 1 turn, and Justin can try and get a switch, but how is Justin going to get that Naganadel out from the bench?
I don't think Justin plays custom catches.
No, I don't think the list plays custom catches. We see a Cynthia.
So without the bench space, it's a bit difficult. If you had a bench space, there's always that Esper player.
Yes, Esper would have come very clutch in this matchup, but even Esper wouldn't be doing enough damage. He would have relied on Matthew to knock him out to place the spell tag on Naganadel. And then we're speaking about enough damage then, right? He would have been able to knock him out. So maybe a good strategical call by Matthew for not taking the knockout there. We don't see a switcher. We see a spell tag for the Giratina on the bench. Justin passes.
Matthew passes, I think.
Or Matthew could take the knockout. But at the end of the day, it's the last turn of the game. So they shake on it.
And that ends in a draw.
It's a draw. So very weird deck to see from Matthew. With this checkmate beast box. I think a couple more turns and Justin looked like he was on his way to victory. You never know. Justin could have got close and Matthew could have pulled off the Stinger GX to reset. Justin didn't look like he had a lot of cards left in his deck. From my view, it looked about 4 or 5 cards there. So it could have gone either way. But at the end of the day, well played to both of these guys. I mean,
very, very strange matchup. Quick game 1 and 2, and then long drawn out game 3.
It was an excellent matchup nonetheless. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Give the video a like if you like what you see. Subscribe to the channel for the rest of the videos for the Unified Minds League Cup. Thank you and cheers.